Hello, good afternoon, dear listeners. Today I want to bring something very interesting, something that has been happening around. If you have been on social media, you will notice that there has been a problem between a serving youth corps member in Nigeria. There's a kind of conflict between the corps member and the Nysc officials regarding the latest statements concerning our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and this is the lady here in the picture, and then the Nysc. She is a serving corps member with the National Youth Service Corps in Nigeria, and of recent she made a statement, maybe based on some experiences that she went through. But I want you to listen. Maybe you have not come across the video, or maybe you have came across the video. I want to play the video, some part of the video, so that you can be able to see some certain things, listen to it again, and then, because what we are here to do is to carry the analysis of the issue as a conflict analyst and as a conflict institution. What may have led to her outburst? What has caused the problem? Do you understand? What has led to what she said? And then, so what are the possible consequences that she's going to face in the matter? And then, what are the possible resolution or strategies that can put in place to resolve the problem? Do you understand? And then we'll just draw a submission based on our own, perspective, or on our own understanding as a conflict professional institution. Do you understand? So come with me as I play the video. Some part of the video, I will not play all, but you just listen, and then we'll carry out an analysis, the root causes of the problem and possible consequences.
I genuinely feel so overwhelmed, and I feel like if a lot of Nigerians come out and start speaking on what we are actually going through, then maybe changes will be made in the government. Don't you guys think? And this video, I just want to say to our president, I don't know if there have been any other president that is terrible, but you are such a terrible president. It is so hard. So I'm coming from the supermarket where I went to get foodstuffs, and everything has gone up again. It's just like every single week prices increase. I want to know, what is the government doing about this increment? Is there going to be a particular time where prices will stop going up? Is there going to be a particular time where things are going to go back? Guys, why am I going to get a crate of egg and they're telling me it is 6.5? It doesn't make any sense that egg will cost 6.5. Like, I literally can't remember when egg used to cost 800. And I'm so overwhelmed because
are you normal?
I wasn't insulting the president, ma. I was only asking for accountability.
Hold down that rubbish you put there.
Ma, are you threatening me?
Hold down that rubbish. You are not talking to your mate.
Ma,
All right, so I guess you have seen the video. You have heard from her what she has said. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some of the things that may be the reasons for her outburst. So come with me as I take you through what may be Nysc co-member Miss Rita Ushie's criticism of President Tinubu's administration, perhaps a criticism on the administration and maybe some kind of personal name callings. All right, so let's take a critical analysis on the issue. So let's look at the root causes of this problem. All right, so what may be the root cause of her outburst that led to what she says? Root causes of the outburst. So one of the reasons that may lead her saying the things she said, unfulfilled expectation. Unfulfilled what? Expectation may be the reason for her. And what is the expectation here? Of recent, the Nysc approved, or the government approved, the increase of the Nysc co-members allowance to 77,000 naira. All right, so all the co-members have been expecting the implementation of these allowance, even from the former DG before he left, but unfortunately it was not implemented. All right, so and now a new DG has come in. All right, so but there is a delayed implementation of this 77,000 allowance. So this could be a possible cause, because you can agree with me that there's high level of inflation in the land. There's so cost of items and all of that. So and co-members has been depending on 33,000 naira, allowances that they have been receiving. And so you can agree with me that 3,000 cannot even buy a bag of 25 kg rice in the current situation. So you can see the situation that may be a possible reason for this outburst. Of course, another reason is the economic hardship, yes, which I have touched. All right, economic hardship, and the rising inflation and the high cost of living. And she's serving in Lagos, and you see that the cost of living in Lagos is high. Do you understand? And so somebody depending on 33,000 to survive, somebody who just left maybe her family house, now caring for herself, you understand what it means as that kind of situation. So this can also be a possible reason for her outburst, and I think she even mentioned some of these things in her video, as you can understand. So let's look at some other reasons that may also be responsible for this outburst. Some of the other reasons that may cause this issue is youth discontent and lack of engagement. Yeah, even the co-members themselves are not fully engaged. Do you understand? Apart from they go to work and come back, it has been a challenge. But the government, there is a gap between the government and the youth. The government and the youth. There has been a gap. Do you understand? There's a gap between the government and the youth. So it's a problem. Do you understand? It's a problem. So government must engage young people. All right, government must engage young people, communicate with them on the policies that are aimed to improve the welfare of the young people, and this has not been in place, and this could also be a possible reason for this outburst. Do you understand? Because they feel that they are not being carried along. So it's a problem. All right, another reason for this issue is also maybe institutional inefficiency. All right, co-members may feel abandoned or deceived when government policies are not executed as promised. Do you understand? So when government policies are not implemented promptly, it becomes a problem, because already some of them may be getting depressed because they are about to pass out, and this was approved even before now. They were expecting that the implementation will be done immediately, but that is not happening. So they are getting depressed. Their expectation, it's as if they are being deceived. Do you understand? That's the kind of feeling they are having now. When is this going to happen? So when government policies are being delayed to be implemented, people can, feel abandoned or deceived. Do you understand? Most especially when some of them are about to pass out. Do you understand? So this is also a possible reason for her outburst. So let's look at some of the other things that we consider that should be done to resolve this problem. All right. So what are the strategies? What are these conflict resolution strategies to take in this situation? Because this is the situation we are facing now. So what do we need to do? What do the authorities that are involved need to do concerning this matter? All right. So let's look at the immediate actions that should be taken to resolve this issue. Now, the government should issue a clear public statement addressing the concerns raised by the co-member, because she talked about the issue of inflation, talked about the rising cost of food and the standard of living. She even talked about the environment smelling. Do you understand? So this tells you that these environmental factors also affect young people. Do you understand? They want to see and live in a serene environment, and this thing is also one of those challenges. Do you understand? So now, but the problem here is that if the government is a government that is responsive and responsible enough, do you understand? Instead of criticizing the statement, they should have looked at it in a different direction, not really taking what she said into consideration. Because like the TUC said, she said that those things out of frustration. Do you understand? And true to it, somebody that is frustrated and cannot be able to manage the emotional state of the person can say a lot of things. Do you understand? So, but it's good that government should have addressed it, even though she's a small girl, a co-member, but she's a citizen of this country, so she deserves the attention of the government. So it's left for the government to respect their citizen and issue a public statement, because maybe she's just speaking the concerns of many youth out there. She may just say it, but she's not saying it just for herself alone, but any other youth and any other person that is going through this economic situation, but they may not have the courage to come out and say things like this. But she came out and said, so it's left for government to have addressed the issue and issue a public statement. Do you understand? That yes, we understand your concern, we understand your challenges, and these are the things that we're working to make sure that the welfare of co-members are improved and the young people in Nigeria generally. Do you understand? And this would have addressed the problem, and then maybe touch on the issue of how to approach issues. Do you understand? That, and then create channels that young people can be able to approach and then also express their concerns without abusing. Do you understand? This is another aspect of it. And so they should have addressed the young girl and then also caution and then also guide and advise her on how to issue such concerns. Do you understand? Or raise such concerns. So this would have been better. Another conflict strategy that needs to be done, but the government, before I proceed, but maybe the government may not be humble enough. Do you understand? Government may not be humble enough to, issue this kind of statement because they feel like, who is that girl? Who is she? Who does she think she is? And that's why you see even an NYSC official was cautioning her, who are you? Are you mad that you issue that, you talk like that? Who asked you to call Mr. President name? Do you understand? They forgot to look from the angle she was coming from. Yes, we are not encouraging what she said because what she said was not totally correct. Calling names is not it. Do you understand? Which was wrong. But also the person that called her also did not do well in trying to address the matter. Do you understand? So that is it. So, but the government should not be too arrogant to issue a statement to address a concern raised by a citizen of the country who is frustrated. Do you understand? So another reason, another strategy is that rather than punitive measures, all right, an engagement forum should be established to allow co-members to voice their grievances constructively. Do you understand? That's what we should do. So we are saying that government should try to create an environment whereby young people and every other person can approach and then express themselves constructively. The way she expressed herself according to our understanding of conflict situation is that it was not constructive. Do you understand? The fact is that her expression was not constructive. We understand that she was frustrated. That's fine, but there's a way you can express yourself without without name callings. Do you understand? And so that was her fault. But I don't blame her because probably she's not aware of some of the emotional impulses that may cause her to do things like that. Instead of thinking of punishing this girl, rather a forum should be provided either by the NYSC so that co-members can come together and express themselves constructively instead of taking to abuse or insult. Do you understand? So this is this, and not just the NYSC alone, but even the Ministry of Youth and Sports can also create such environment so that young people can come together to express themselves and how they feel, how they look at the economy, and possibly the possible solutions that can be put in place to address their concerns. I think that is how we should be going. And then another immediate action that should be taken is the implementation of the 77,000 allowances that was being approved. Let this implementation be done so that these young people will receive these allowances and help to manage themselves during the service year, as many of them are being posted out of their states and out of their places of residence. So it's not easy paying rent. Some of them doesn't even have accommodation. Do you understand? Some of them, their PPA doesn't give them accommodation. They have to look for their own accommodation, and so they have a lot of bills to handle. Transportation is very high. So it is a deal. We appreciate Mr. President for the implementation. That is fine, for the approval of this increment, but the approval alone does not solve the problem. The implementation is what will solve the problem. Do you understand? So this can go a long way to bring succor for the NYSC co-members. So we are encouraging that this should be done immediately so that this kind of thing may not happen. It will go a long way to solve the challenges some of them are facing. Another thing is improve NYC welfare packages, including accommodation, health insurance, and post-service employment. Because some of these co-members feel that maybe peradventure they may save something from this and then maybe start life after NYC, since jobs are not always available. So it's going to be a worry if this thing is being delayed. Do you understand? So it's possible. I think she was talking about a dream car. Do you understand? In the video. So it's possible that she has some dreams for herself, and then these things are challenging it. The high cost of living is also challenging those ambitions. So so we are talking about packages, accommodation. Yes, NYC must insist that PPAs must give co-members accommodation, and also where that is not possible, some certain allowances must be provided so that they can be able to get accommodation. And I think NYC is doing that already. NYC, I think they do press on PPAs to like assist co-members to get accommodation as much as possible so that they will not be stranded. Do you understand? But where that is not done, the NYC should be able to find other channels to relieve those co-members of the burden. And then the issue of health insurance, some of the co-members, I know they always have some kind of arrangement, and then some clinics for co-members to go and take medication, but sometimes those things don't come as it should. So they should receive also an insurance. The National Health Insurance Scheme should be able to take care of all the co-members' health needs, and I think that will go a long way. And then this one also, the National Directorate of Employment, I know they used to provide some kind of training for co-members during youth service, but the training is not enough. All right, yes, if you can train and empower them with finances to start work or start businesses, that is fine. But where you just train them without any form of empowerment is a challenge. All right, but if the National Directorate of Employment can provide job opportunities, and then maybe after service you can be engaged based on your qualification and your merit and where the opportunities are, it will help. And then government also should take the role of job creation very, very serious, so that young people can finish service and get engaged, instead of after service you don't know where you are going. It's a kind of being stressful for the co-members. All right, so let's look at some of the possible strategies that we can take to resolve these conflicts that is happening between these entities. All right, so let's look at it, the parties involved in this conflict. Now we are talking about establishing youth government feedback mechanism, where young Nigerians, including NYC co-members, can engage policymakers, because policymakers sometimes when policy is being formulated with the people in mind, the people must be carried along for the formulation of the policies and of course the implementation of the policies. All right, and so we should create something that young people can. I think there are youth related institution, but not every youth is being given opportunity to participate. So but there should be a forum where young people can come together and engage policymakers. All right, so far as it concerns youth. All right, and I think Ministry of Youth should be able to take this thing seriously. And then the newly appointed NYC Director General should prioritize co-members' welfare and also maintain accountability. I think he's just coming in newly, but I know that he has good plans for the co-members, and I think one thing that he would like to facilitate for the co-members is the implementation of the 77,000 allowances for the co-members, and I think he will act swiftly concerning this matter again to implement that. All right, government should also encourage responsive civic engagement rather than suppress criticism. Because when this thing happened, some people were calling for the head of the gate, which is not correct. All right, she is a citizen of this country. She is entitled to express herself. It's just that the way she expresses herself is what we are trying to discourage. Do you understand? We as an institution that is so professionalized in conflict resolution, we are against the way she projected herself as a youth co-member and as a citizen. Yes, we can criticize the government, but let's do it constructively. I think that's the best way to go. But because she did not do it constructively does not mean that we should not crucify her for what she has said. She said out of frustration and out of emotion. So we should understand the state she was saying all of these things. Do you understand? And I think that should be better. So trying to suppress her with a lot of criticism is not correct, because the NYSC official that called her did not do a good job. All right, not do a good job. There was a way she would have pacified her, and then also maybe invited her and then talk to her, and then maybe explain some things to her so that she will understand that this is what the NYSC is doing, and they are doing their best to make sure that this issue is not and then maybe encourage her from there to maybe take the video down, and then it will, but ordering her to just take the video down simply because she's having with NYSC is not enough. She's a citizen of the country, and of course she's entitled to her opinions, and she must aid her views, because she is being affected by what is happening in the economy. Do you understand? So, and with the economy, so she is also being affected, so she can express herself. All right, but it must be civic. All right, civic. So this was saying NYSC should provide training on conflict sensitive communication and emotional intelligence. All right, conflict was sensitive communication and emotional intelligence, because it's true that she lacks emotional intelligence from the way she expressed herself. You understand? Because she allows some of those impulses like anger, frustration, and sadness, to take over her expression. So it affected her, from being, constructive in her, criticism. So, and then communication, because the choice of words were not correct. It's not nice to call your president a terrible president. Do you understand? Even if you know that he is doing things terribly, or she's indeed terribly as a person, all right? But there's a way you can position it, all right? You can say things without name calling. It was rather a name calling against the president, and which is where she's also being condemned. And also we also discourage that. We know that it's not the right way to go. You can engage your president constructively, let him see the reasons why his administration is failing. Do you understand? Not necessarily calling him names. We know that he's a human as well, and maybe he meant good for the country, just that the economy is slow, but it is maybe he's doing what he thinks is the best for the country. All right, and so let's also learn how to criticize constructively. All right, so that this can help co-members express grievances in a way that encourage solution rather than escalate tension. Actually, it was a tension situation. Do you understand? Because of the way she expressed herself, and then the exchange between she and NYSC officials, it was not a nice experience. Do you understand? So we discourage this kind of expression totally. Do you understand? As professionals, all right? So now, let's look at some of the long-term peace building approaches that the NYSC and the government must put in place to make sure that some of these things will not happen again. NYSC should integrate leadership, conflict resolution, and civic education into its training. Yes, I know that there are some leadership training that NYSC used to provide, because I was once a co-member. Do you understand? And they allow some of these professional bodies also to train some co-members, right? And then carry awareness, all of that. And then there are also civic education, because they receive training generally on the environment where they are and how they should relate to the people there. I'm aware of that. What I'm not aware is the conflict resolution aspect. Do you understand? Which is not there. Do you understand? And but we have been working with the NYSC also. Some of them that come for our training, we give them this training on conflict resolution. So I think the NYSC should institutionalize something like this, all right, or create something that is meant to train young people on conflict resolution and peace building activities. And I think it will help them to mature in their communication approach. And then another long-term approach is address broader economic challenges affecting Nigerian youth, ensuring sustainable job creation after NYSC. People can get job, and then they're confident that after I'm finishing my service, I'm going to get a job and then start life. Do you understand? And so they will not be worried about what they are going to face out there, because they know that job is waiting for them already. All right. Then consistency in policy implementation will restore trust in government commitment. So these are the long-term peace building that must be put in place. So government should be prompt in the implementation of policies, and this will go a long way to build trust. But when policies are being delayed, people begin to question the consistency and the authenticity of the government in place. All right. So these are the long-term peace building that must be put in place. All right. So I will like to take through some of the possible punishment measures may be meted on Miss Rita Ushie, because definitely she's going to serve some certain punishment based on her outburst. I know people are defending her and say a lot of things, but she's a core member serving under Nysc, and Nysc has some strict regulations that must be obeyed. So and she was informed about these regulations before she started her service. So definitely she's going to go serve some punishment. So I just want to take you some of the punishment that she may likely, or one of them that she may likely serve or carry out, but that will depends on the government and NYC authorities' interpretation of her actions. Do you understand? But the way it is now, some of the consequences that she's going to face based on this, what we term as misconduct, is because that is according to NYC, is a misconduct because there is NYC regulations. Do you understand? So we term her behavior under these circumstances as misconduct. Do you understand? So, but she, as public opinion, or people who want to just support this kind of views, they felt that a citizen of the country just expressed how she felt concerning the economy and all of that. But under strict NYC regulations, since she's a core member, what she did, we consider it, or has been considered as a misconduct. And based on NYC regulations, there are some likely punishment that she's going to face. And so we call this lesser punishment, right? We call this one lesser punishment measure that she may face. She may face one or some of these, right? First of it all, she's going to, answer query, right? Query and warning letter may be given to her for making statements deemed inappropriate or disrespectful. Do you understand? So she's going to get that query and a warning letter. And then another possible punishment that she may face is extension of service year. All right. The NYC has a policy: if they consider your attitude or you are absconding to activities, you're not doing things properly, they may extend your service. Do you understand? So she may get extension as a disciplinary measure. Do you understand? And then another disciplinary measure that she may likely face is disciplinary measure that she's going to face is community service punishment. She may try to give her a community service project or activity to do. Do you understand? And then maybe to go and pack the waste bin that are being put by the side so that the environment will not be smearing. She was complaining, so they may give that thing as a punishment to her so that she can serve it and then help to clean the environment to be clean. Do you understand? So it will not be smearing. So it's going to be one of the punishment that she may likely face. And then she might also be required to tender a public apology to Mr. President and the NYC management. All right. So I think that is another possible thing that she may be expected to do. All right, because they consider this as a misconduct and also as a disrespect to the president and the NYC board. So she may be required to tender a public apology and also likely to take down those videos that she did. Do you understand? So that is it. Let's progress so that we'll finish this. All right. Then let's look at some of the extreme. All right, they will call them the extreme punishment measures that she may face based on her response to the lesser punishment that we have discussed there. Maybe, for instance, they asked us to tender apology and she refused to tender the apology, or they asked her to, maybe they asked her to also maybe take down those videos, and she refused to take down the videos. So there may be extreme punishment measures that she may face. And what are those punishment measures that she may likely face? Expulsion from the Nysc. That is, she is that's an extreme case based on her response to the demands of the Nysc. She may face any of these extreme measures. All right, so she may be dismissed from the Nysc. That means that she will not get the Nysc discharge certificate. And what's the implication of not getting this certificate? It will affect what her future employment opportunities. Do you understand? As many jobs in Nigeria, both public and private, requires the Nysc discharge what certificate. They require this thing. So it's going to affect her if she did not have it. All right. If she did not have any of this, it's going to affect her. Do you understand? So, but expulsion from Nysc is one of the possible punishment measures that she's going to face. Another punishment measure that she may likely face is defamation or cybercrime charges. All right. So that is if the government wants to take it so to the extreme, calling Mr. President terrible president, it will consider it defamatory. Do you understand? And also a cyber crime according to the Nigerian laws. Do you understand? So that is so she may be, if the government want to go to the extreme, they may consider her statement defamatory or inciting. Do you understand? And then what that means that she may face legal action under Nigerian Cyber Crime Act or other related laws. Do you understand? So this is what she's likely going to face as extreme measures. But if she's able to conduct herself very well, respect herself, and then also respect the instruction that will be given to her, maybe take down the video and issue a public apology, because these are the things that are going to be required definitely. Do you understand? So if she's able to respect and obey this, then maybe she will escape these extreme measures. All right. But if she refuses to do it, there's possible chances that she's going to be dismissed from the Nysc. All right. So, however, taking her to be charging her of defamatory or inciting comment and then facing legal charges, that is going to attract what we call, it's going to spark public outcry, especially from human rights groups and opposition leaders. So already something interesting is happening. Let me just show you. All right, let me just show you. All right, look at these faces. All right, look at these faces. All right, they are already on her side. All right, these faces are already on her side, trying to support her and encourage her. All right, popular voices teaming up with her. Former presidential candidate Raye is already there. He went to the Nysc secretariat in Lagos with her. Do you understand? Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar also extended her voice to support her, saying that she was bold enough to say things like that. Yeah. So what we are saying is that we are not saying that you cannot express yourself, but express yourself in such a way that it will not be you will not be misunderstood. Do you understand? So that is what it is. So the trade union Congress also says something. They say that her expression was out of frustration, right, and maybe unfulfilled promises. So as a result of that they should not punish her. All right. So their own comment was rather to plead with the presidency or the Nysc to just consider her, and they understand that she's making that statement from a desperate and frustrated position. And then the social media activist Martins Vincent was a very dark man also. He is of the opinion that definitely if the gay cannot get Nysc discharge certificate because she has been blacklisted, so it means that getting a job will be very, very hard for her. if at the end of the day she did not get the NYSC discharge. But he offers to help her to get a job. If she could not get a public job or a private job, he is willing to help her to get a job. So these are some of the issues. All right, I want to give our final words concerning this matter. All right, now if the NYSC or government imposes harsh punishment, it could lead to protest and criticism from civil society organizations. So what does the government need to do? Like we say that government should just issue a public statement to, talk about their policies and also encourage young people to participate in some of the activities so that they will not be far from the government. And then government also must, reassure the young people that they are going to improve their welfare. And of course, the NYSC co-members, the 77,000 allowance is going to also be implemented. This is what we expect to hear from government, so that not necessarily the harsh punishment. Do you understand? So government should not do that. So to avoid unnecessary protests and criticism, because that would be on the negative side of the government. And as the elections are approaching, with the harsh economic policies, I don't think government will want to put itself in a position that will further endanger the image of the government. So imposing harsh punishment is not an option, and so government should not even try to avoid this, so that the opposition leaders will not capitalize on it and destabilize the politics. Do you understand? That's number one. Number two is that this conflict is not just about one co-members, but a reflection of broader youth dissatisfaction with governance in Nigeria. Many young people are not happy with the way governance is being conducted in Nigeria, including myself that I'm talking to you. Do you understand? Because things are not just done well in this country, and many young people have been sidelined. Do you understand? So it's good that the government and the leaders in this country must look inwards to see how to make their young people more productive. Do you understand? And get them involved in governance. I see some government institutions at the state level that are also trying as much as possible to bring young people on board, but we can do more to that to make sure that young people get opportunity to participate in the affairs of governance and of course be included in some other aspect. Another thing that government needs to do is proactive approach, focusing on economic relief, dialogue and institutional efficiency. We have to prevent escalation and promote more positive relationship between the government and young citizens. Do you understand? So government must be proactive and bring some relief measures to help young people to cope in a situation of high economic measures like this. And then above all, always put your emotions in check. Now I'm talking to you generally now, the listeners and the public. Always put your emotions in check, including the young lady that we are discussing here now. Always put your emotions in check. Don't allow your emotions to overwhelm you. Do you understand? All right. Always control your emotions. All right. Don't be overwhelmed by your emotion. Don't be overwhelmed by anger, so that you will not be misjudged. Do you understand? Express yourself without abuse. All right. Express yourself without insult and disrespect. You can express yourself without insult, without disrespect, without abuse, and your message will be heard. Do you understand? So express yourself respectfully, communicate your opinions and your views, criticize government constructively and without name calling, without insult, because whether President Tinubu is doing well or not, he's still our president and we ought to respect him for that position. Tomorrow you will also be a president or a leader, and you'll see how leadership it is. It's not easy to be a leader. So there are challenges that we are facing generally as a country, but we can do way to engage our government constructively. By so doing, we will achieve productivity in the long run. So make your voice to be heard without creating tension. Simple as that. Make your voice always to be heard without what? Creating tension. But above all, anytime you want to start a war, sit down first and foremost, count the gains and the losses. All right? Yes, on social media, controversies make videos or content to go viral, and just like this matter, it went viral. Do you understand? But if that video is taken down and all that stuff are taken down, so what is the gain? Do you understand? And then you end up serving a punishment. So always be critical on some of these factors, except she's willing to forfeit NYSC discharge and face whatever punishment. She don't care, then she can go through on with the achievement she made on social media, because there are thousands and millions of views on this video. I didn't understand, and so maybe that is the achievement. But if that's her target, so maybe she may disobey NYSC instruction and directive concerning the matter. But the consequence is that she may not get a discharge certificate, and maybe in the wrong down, it will still affect her if she wants to lead in this country, if she wants to take the position of leadership in this country to create change, and then it's going to affect her. So if she has any aspiration to become a leader in Nigeria, as in contesting an election or do anything like that, or even serve in government appointed position, she must consider these factors very well before she will take her final decision, and she will not be carried away by people that are supporting her. Do you understand? So she should just count some of these things. But if she does not aspire to work in government and nothing concern her with government, whether appointment or whether contesting election, then definitely she may decide to, forfeit the NYSC certificate and go her own way. But as far as Nigeria is concerned, that is also a very big factor in Nigeria. So thank you very much for being part of today's analysis of this conflict. All right, if you want to become a conflict analyst, you can join us and be part of our institute. We train you, and then you can also become a member of the institute. And then we also provide free trainings, professional training, even on emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, mediations. So if you want to learn some of this things, you follow the Institute of Global Peace on all our social medias, on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and then you can access some of our free trainings so that you can learn how to communicate effectively, and also carry analysis of this issue, and then be able to face and navigate the challenges that confront you in the society. Thank you very much. I'm yours. I'm Mr. Raye Joshua, the Registrar of the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management. See you another day. I still have some videos I need to talk about. The issue between the Senate President and Natasha, Ukraine and Russia, and many more other engaging issues that you want to know the details. All right, thank you very much. You're welcome.